moving also, birds moving also, but the connectivity in the reflective consciousness is called just a stationary connectivity. It's a single connection. That's why his sentence is in that reference. Moving thing cannot see a moving thing.
Is there two types of chi? There's like a active and a passive. Like when we sat there and we just let our thoughts wander, and then they go to these things, to these different visions that we saw, the reflective. Is there one where we can control and then focus on one of those reflective thoughts, and then you can start to...
Thoughts are not reflective. Thoughts are thoughts.
They're just passive.
Consciousness is reflective. What we say is that wandering part of that consciousness is the reflective consciousness. The other is the pure consciousness.
The observer.
Yeah, both observe.
Okay.
But then one is moving, the other is fixed.
Is there a way that you can use your chi to advantage to help you, progress higher?
No, that's how you focus yourself.
Just focusing and concentrating.
These guys who do the gymnastics on the single bar,
right?
that somersault, what is that?
It takes focus and...
What a focus. One small mistake and disaster. That's it. And you see those, there are some videos available. I happen to see that they try to do some acrobats or what you call gymnastics, no, not gymnastics, they on acrobats. Say, there's so many tricky this thing, but see the focus, how well they focus that they are able to stay well balanced on such a shaky support.
Do you have to be self-realized to see your chip?
No.
Okay.
But for it to reach that purity, so you know who you are, then that none is necessary. Then only you come. Otherwise, whatever you see outside, the abilities, capabilities, whatever you see, it is nothing but the use of your focus and your chit only. There are people who can handle too many tasks at a time. What is that? It is their power of handling so many things, and it is the power of the chit only. Whenever you see anyone, you are not seeing the whole person at a time. But imagine, it goes so fast and it creates a picture. Like how they show in movies they show, like they see the person and then they evaluate. They show it like that, but that evaluation takes place within our mind. That is the power of our chit. And one, you are well focused. If you have noticed, after the Gnan Vidhi, time you used to take for a task maybe 4 hours, you are now able to finish in 1 hour or 2 hours. Your time is reduced. Have you noticed that? You will notice that. Because see, all those diversions are not there now. You are well focused. And as you improve on that, you excel very well. See, the idea is, as our chit gets purified, then it doesn't fall into those areas where you lose. It is a natural thing, because you immediately come to know that this is a place where I'll get hurt. So it will always look around for places where you won't get hurt. And with that reflection, you will be able to see all your previous mistakes. As your chit gets purified, you are able to see so many things at a time. And quick, in a very short time, you can say that as your revolution increases. Revolution of seeing and knowing. At a time, if even in the relative someone can have that achievement. In fact, what you see outside are all relative achievements only. So in fact, it is said, having got this realization, all our relative aspects, they reach to such a peak, but you cannot get carried away by that. If you try to encash those faculties or abilities, you will get lost into it. It is very easy to get lost in that. You understand? Because you can say, oh, now I started seeing all these, I can do this, I can do that. But then it is only relative. You have to save that for your real progress. It's important. Someone who excel in studies, any field. So you imagine the power. Wherever that power of pure consciousness goes, in fact it is reflective consciousness, but even that, if it is well focused, you get so much in return. It's always that.
It's something like discharge chip. I'm not sure.
Discharge, it is wandering chip.
But that is like discharge energy binding type.
Binding,
Like
once realized, there is no possibility of binding unless you say that I am Bijal. Sure, yes, I am Bijal only, which is never possible. So that is a proof that you cannot bind new karmas. But you have the ability and a choice to get away with your old karmas, which doesn't get discharged fully if you are not well focused. And you need that focus on the suffering and the sufferer both. You are not the sufferer, because both are object of observation only. You understand? Suffering,
Oh, that I got.
okay, I suffer. That feeling that it happened to me, I did it, it happened to me, all that, what is that? That is your discharge egoism, which claims the suffering as I suffered, I did it, I saw. So all the functions of our senses, wherever there is ownership, then that is discharge egoism. Ownership of action, ownership of knowledge. Both are nothing but discharge egoism. But they cannot bind you because of that belief that I am pure soul. You understand? So it doesn't matter whatever you do, but any action which gets initiated here, either of body or speech or thought, if it is such that it hurts others, it's going to come back. Because the way it has gone out, if it hurt others, then it's going to reflect back on you. So when it comes back on you, you will have to suffer. That is where, so if you happen to become an instrument for someone's suffering, you should correct yourself immediately. Understand? So then the effect is going to come because it has gone from here, but when it comes back, it will be very minor. So it's like when you drop a ball from here, then it just doesn't settle there. It bounces and comes back again. So it's going to come back again, but because you have corrected yourself, that portion will reduce drastically. It is said that a right confession and repentant, then a mountain big mistake will turn into a small pebble only. And the repentance is very important, hearty repentance of the mistake that is committed. That is the advantage of realization. And that is, you need to have that conviction that that was wrong. And once that conviction is there, it will work naturally. So in fact, in the satsang, our conviction is opening. And that conviction itself helps us live with full focus. What others are doing is not important, but what you are doing is of utmost importance.
But many times you repent, you say, okay, you would not like to repeat this mistake again. And then again it happens. And that time you can see that, okay, I repented, I still made the same mistake. But many times it's unknowingly or it just happens.
So it's like what
Can you repeat the question?
he says that even after repenting, the mistakes commit again and again. So it's like I was having 100,000 debt, and you came to give me 10,000. So I give you 10,000. I think that it's done. And tomorrow you come again. Give me another 10,000. Say, "Hey, come on, yesterday I paid you back. Why are you coming again?" Because there is no way I can see how much is my debt. But as and when it comes, it is my duty that I should pay you back. Right? Even for the absolute, not that way, before reaching that absolute state, they had the limitation. That's why they can only grossly evaluate that it's something, it is a lot, but they cannot quantify it. That okay, if I do this much, it will be done. No. Because that pending mistake itself is an obstacle. So as you clear the obstacle, your vision opens. And when the last mistake is eliminated, your vision becomes open, totally, 100% open. And that is end of it. Then you become 100% natural. Today we have to take care of our own body, because we have committed so much of debt. So much of debt is there that the nature is not taking care of all that. Otherwise, there is no way that someone can come and hurt you. No humans, no animals, nothing. Without a connection, without a debt, without a cause, nothing can happen as an effect in our life. So all that happens, it is because of our own cause laid in ignorant state. And after all, if you measure life, what is it? Bunch of happiness and suffering. That's it. So if you want to see around, don't look at people. You have to look at the suffering only. Because what is that? Who are all these? Manifestation of ego. What they projected, they are there today. And what you see, they have to pass through those suffering, and that's it. Bottom line is that. And you may tag that as whatever way you want, but the bottom line of life is nothing. But what happens is not important, but the outcome of that happening is suffering or happiness. And both are temporary. Both are temporary. So those temporary aspects, when you start observing, you start experiencing your permanence, because those things come and go and you remain as the observer. So finally, all happening subsides and you remain and emerge as the perceiver, the knower. Because you are, and that was like that.
What is Dadaji's chit? Is it always on his body?
Yeah. So it's like he's always conscious about and well focused on what happens to his body, within his body. And we are all his files. So we feel that he is talking to us, but he is talking to himself. And slowly, slowly, I'm not boasting, but as and when I feel that, that's why I never have to come prepared. Certain things I don't even know, and still it comes out. So it says it is not mine. Because Dada has said, we have put in every Mahatma, and more so because we have to talk. Yes, he said that we have put everything what is needed for Jagat Kalyan. But that Jagat Kalyan is not for this Jagat Kalyan, but that Jagat Kalyan is for this Jagat Kalyan. And in the bargain, people will get benefited. How can I take pride of that? There's no way I can take pride of that. Nobody can take pride of that. Because one has to take care of himself only. But when you take care of yourself, others get the benefit of that. That's how we are getting benefit from Dadaji. In this regard, we can understand whatever Lord Rama did, Lord Krishna did, Lord Mahavira did, they never dealt with anyone, they dealt with their own self. Apparently they look different, but we are dealing with our own self, leftover self. Because previously what you left them, they are coming here back for settlement. In fact, you ran away from them. So now they are coming back, hey, pay my dues. So we say, oh, I'm happy, I'm willing to pay back. It is like how parents have their duty towards their children. It is nothing but duty. We are all duty bound. But when we realize our duty, then we will not claim or take pride of anything what we do. Because everything is done out of our duty. How can we take pride of anything? So, then you become humble naturally.
You said Dadaji's focus is always on his body. You said Dadaji's chit is always on his body. So no past, no future.
Yes, but that when your focus is so proper, then in that present moment itself, the past and the future gets reflected, get illuminated. But that is not meant for verbal communication. If he uses that faculty to do anything, then he loses this power.
Can I ask an unrelated question? I've heard often Mahatmas say, oh, Dadaji ne kehવાની જરૂર નહીં, અમને ખબર જ છે, એમને ખબર જ છે.
તો ખબર બીજું બધું ખબર પાડવી તો ઘણું બધું ખબર પાડાવે છે.
No, like, I mean, like, even things like, when I was expecting, I hadn't told Dadaji, but then other aunties were like, oh, એમને તો ખબર જ હોય. Is that really true? Does Dada really...
Where is your humility then? Isn't that your arrogance? I consider that as someone's arrogance only.
How?
See, isn't it our duty to tell him?
Oh yes, and I did.
And there is something which stops us telling him. So you have to find out that. You understand?
No, I mean, I don't mind telling him, and I did tell him, but
It's like if you have got something and you're very happy with it, who is the first person you would like to tell? Nikhil, your mother-in-law? Yeah, and then mother. And definitely not mother-in-law. If you have a choice between your mother and mother-in-law, surely you will tell your mother first. Right? So this is how our connection is there. And what is the kind of connection we have with Dadaji? See, it is like, just try to experience, in the sense, you are with your parents. What is the level of your feeling? Oh, I'm with my father, I'm with my mom and dad. The feeling is not all that. But when you say, oh, I'm with Nikhil, doesn't that happen? See, that bond is something different. So, same way, it is a tangible feeling. When you have such a thing on the real side for Dada, great. You have achieved. Although outside it looks like a relative connection, but it is not relative connection with Dadaji. And if that happens, all your worldly commitment, they will get fulfilled very easily. You will not have any burden of anything, always. But when that is lacking, then you will have problem anywhere, rather everywhere.
How do you strengthen that?
Huh?
How do you
The
build
whole
that?
purpose of this satsang is understand him. What he is, whatever qualities we are talking about, all those qualities are there in him. And when you know that, oh, this is such a person, then you naturally get connected, you naturally have that feeling. And it doesn't come overnight. You have to understand. So, if you understand, there is no need to understand the knowledge, but you have to understand the Gnani. So, if you understand the Gnani, you will understand the Gnan automatically. You don't have to do anything. See, the idea of saying three mantra is nothing but saying. The whole three mantra is applicable to Gnani only. We then specify that, okay, Tirthankar Bhagwan, for you, for us, he is my Tirthankar Bhagwan. Whenever I'll see Tirthankar Bhagwan, then I'll do whatever I have to do. But now, where should be my feeling, or all my worship should be focused where? That's him. And he is such a person that if I'm well focused on him, then I naturally get focused on everyone. And as much I am not focused on him, I have problem with others. Because he says, I am everywhere. If he experiences him everywhere, why can't I? You understand? But eventually it happens. He says, I don't want anything from anyone. But that is not the thing with me. I need certain things from people. So that is where I lack. And when I also reach that state where I don't need anything, then everything, what I need will come to me naturally. Did you get that? That's the best part of the day. So that is why we have in our prayer that I don't want any perishable thing in this world. So that feeling itself, whatever I need, I'll get it naturally at the right time. I don't even have to ask for it, but it will happen. As so many things happen in our life, other things also happen.
One more question before you speak. When we are in the presence of Sun Dadaji, for example,
Yes?
how to best benefit? Like, what should we be doing to benefit from his
You don't have to do anything, just remain well focused him.
on him?
Yes, on him only. Others may be talking, others may be seeing in their phones and all that. But don't focus there. That is not your business. If they have decided to be like that, it is their problem. You understand? Even if the kids are playing around, don't worry about them. Unless you have to pay attention, then only. Otherwise, no. So Huh?
Put it on the outside.
Outside.
What?
On the upper flap.
Did I?
In the zip. Yeah. Batteries, right?
Yeah.
You put, yeah, that's where you put it.
Right, correct. So certain times we do things so that it is easily accessible, but then you forget. Like this. It happens. Others who have seen you doing, they remember that. Hey, you looking for this? Where you put that? Come on. Yeah. So, that is why we have to understand the underlying science. There is nothing but science. So, the ultimate goal or achievement of this science is wherever you see, you will see yourself everywhere. And when that happens, you will not have any problem with anyone. Especially the common problem what people have with at home. Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, very common problem. They will never exist. It is what they feel, it is not your problem. But you will remain easy and cool with them, always. Because you cannot stop someone thinking, but how you have to live with them, you can always choose that. That's how all those great people, they lived with the world, people of the world, and they freed themselves.
We were talking about chit, and I remember Dadaji saying, like last week or something, "Hey, aapko sansar, aapko ki kaisi jaiye." And I feel like that's really closely connected to chit. And these days, it feels like a lot of our chit is in inanimate objects, phones, the computers, all of that.
It's there, but it is not much.
It's not.
Then individual it is more.
Pardon?
Individual living person is more. That is why the purpose of marriage is there. Because our chit is wandering around so much. When you marry, you get fixed on one person. It is means to solve our problem, so that it doesn't wander. A very funny example. Dadaji used to say. He said that one guy, when he would walk around on the streets or like that, anywhere in the village, he kept watching around. So someone said, "Why do you wander around like this?" "I'm not married." Definitely I will look around like that. And then what happened? After a few months, he was walking straight. I said, "What happened all of a sudden?" "What happened?" "I got married." That is the difference. You can see that. If you observe around, you can see that. But if some married people, married person, if they do like that, then they need punishment. Obviously, if the husband does that and if the wife watches him doing that, then she will be disappointed. Oh, even after marrying with me, he's wandering, this is not good. And if the wife does and the husband comes to know, then the husband gets disappointed. Both ways is there. So the idea behind marriage is you remain well focused. Dada used to say about Hiraba. Say that Hirama always will think whose picture does she have in her mind? Only Dada. No one else. No one else. She will deal with everyone because that is part of the worldly drama. But inside, her chit was always in Dada. That is the spirit. So we will deal with everyone. But if your focus is like that, then your dealing outside will also be naturally dramatic, perfect, but still not connected. That is how you think. And the best part of it is what? If you understand, you come to know that you have some mistakes or you have some flaws, then you start working on it. What is that? It's like you decide and all the energies will get channelized at your focus. But we have not decided, that's why there's no focus. Like certain things it is very interesting, but that is possible when you be with such a person. Once we were on the stage and he called me. He said, who's sitting in the front line? He said, is she there? Or is he there? I said, yeah, they both are there. I went to my seat and said, he called me again. See, because we don't see anyone in particular. What a level. He is among us, he doesn't see anyone in particular. Once something happened, this is an example with Dada Bhagwan. See, there were some Aputras who were there and it was Diwali time. So many people will come, almost New Year's, the Diwali day. So many people were coming to see Dadaji, and Dadaji all of a sudden said, who was that person? So Abdul Guru was nearby, he immediately responded saying, Dadaji, he was that. Do you see everyone in particular? Badane taki ne jue the. That's a very good lesson. See, Dadaji, in all his interaction, we come to know, we have to understand that the message what he gives, it relates to our mistake somewhere or the other. And we have to catch that mistake and start working on it. Just not that, that's my flaw and that is bad. No, nothing of it is bad. He said, you be conscious of what's going on. Ultimately, we start seeing in a very casual way, nothing in particular. But a particular will come when there is interaction, not otherwise. You understand? Someone comes and talk with you, that's how that particularity will come, or should come, and that is necessary then. Because that is necessary for your amicable settlement. You have to deal as per the person. Otherwise, casual won't be. In a samanya bhav, we have to shift our focus from particularity to casual. And then the casualness becomes common. You're not thinking about it. Because I have to come to San Francisco. Okay. Namo Vitragai.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo